Okay. Can you state your name?
Michael Ulmer.
Okay.
Oh, well, how much do you know about the 1992 LA riots?
Well, I know that it was a reaction to the court case against it was a reaction to police brutality over many years, discrimination, underserved communities like South LA and other parts of Los Angeles, and specifically as a reaction, specifically as like I guess the spark that started it was the reaction to the trial of the LAPD officers who violently beat Rodney King when he was, and filmed on camera where he was obviously not fighting back, and you know. Yeah.
My second question for you is, as an educator yourself, how have you witnessed the everlasting effects of this event affecting your students? Like, probably like socially, economically, or anything else that you would want to add?
Well, I know that I happen to know that after the LA riots, a lot of the stores and a lot of the businesses left the area of South LA, like closed, or they didn't rebuild, or they just didn't reopen. And so, you know, for a long time, and ironically, you know, because of the Watts riots, this LA Southwest College was built, you know, as a way to show the community that the government was investing in them. So it's ironic to speak about kind of like, you know, the LA riots, sitting on a campus that was built in response to another riot, you know, based on police brutality. But I think it's affected, back to your question, I think it's affected probably the community and the parents of my students, even though if they might not have lived here, through like the kind of like the economic consequences that came from the riots, and how some things didn't get built. So things, you know, the neighbor, now we've witnessed in the last 10 years, because of the stadium in Inglewood and lots of building and things, kind of like reinvestment a little bit, but not everywhere. But you know, for a long time there was like not a lot of businesses returned, so it was kind of like an economically depressed community.
My third question for you is, do you think that these issues can be fixed, or is it an irreversible damage that can't be undone in our community? And if you think that it could be undone, what are ways that it can be fixed?
Well, I think that police discrimination, violence, and stuff is still a part of the community. I don't think the LAPD or the LA sheriff ever had the real changes that the community wanted in the way they profile people, stop people. I mean, I've taught articles, I've showed my classes articles from 2 years ago about LAPD stopping, you know, mostly disproportionately stopping Black drivers in South LA. I've read about the sheriffs disproportionately stopping Latino bicycle riders. I've seen those things, so I other people feel it. I don't live here, but I know that it's happening, and I know that. So I'm not sure if the root cause of the riots, which was one of the root causes, which was police mistreatment and injustice from the system of policing, has really changed. It's, from what I've seen, evidence-wise, and just how I see police acting when I'm driving here and on the streets, and just kind of it's different than what I see even in Long Beach, which is still a big city, right? With other problems with police there. But so I'm not sure if like full changes have been there. There might be more Black and Latino police officers, but that doesn't mean that those officers have changed the culture of the department, because the leaders of those police departments still have that same culture about like, those people are bad, and we're gonna where it's like they're some of them feel like they're going to war when they, you know, go to work with the community. And I don't know if that's actually changed yet, from what I see, from what I've read and what I see.
Yeah. Question for you is, do you as an individual feel as the things have gotten better or worse?
Well, I don't live here, but I don't live in this community or in South LA. I live, 20 miles away in Long Beach, but I do feel that from what I've read, like I said, the investigative reporting on how policing still works, the fact that people are still getting shot by the police, the fact that they're still profiling. There have been changes. Police departments have more controls on them, but it doesn't seem, it's just the idea of over policing certain neighborhoods and over policing certain areas and sticking three helicopters in South LA and serving a warrant for someone with SWAT teams and overwhelming waking up the neighborhood in the morning. I just think that idea of policing's still here, where you use this overwhelming force in certain communities to really, like, I don't know, to not to threaten them, but to show your power, to like flex your power. And until the police become more community oriented, and maybe they're on bicycles or maybe they're walking around or something, or like I said, living near here, maybe they'll feel more with the people. But just driving around all day and looking for, quote, trouble or profiling people, I don't think that's the way policing should be.